All right, everybody, welcome to the Barn Burner Breakdown. I'm your host, Fred Sabelli. I'm super pumped. We have our very first return guest to the show. I'm very lucky to have him. Please give it up for the very funny Mike Dupont.
Thank you.
Mike, that was that intro was just as good as the first time. We messed up, ladies and gentlemen. We weren't recording our initial intro, but I just figured I'd have to address it. But you guys don't even know what we're talking about, so it doesn't matter anyway. Mike, how was your gambling this weekend?
Oh, I mean, I'm still around, so the kneecaps aren't broken yet. But
okay,
it's good. It's not
kneecaps
as good as
intact.
Like it. There's some gambling going on right now. I'm gonna try to fight the urge to look at my phone.
I know.
As we film this, there's NFL games going on.
Yeah, we got the Bills and the Steelers going on right now. We didn't plan for it. Friggin' weather took us out, unfortunately, but.
Would you be one of those dudes out there shoveling?
No.
But
if they gave me a free ticket, I would.
See, that's the thing. I think that they pay you, and at the end, you have the option to buy a ticket for the game.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know they had the option to get a ticket.
Hey, it wasn't great. It's $20 an hour to be out there in the snow for a minimum of 4 hours to get the $80 game ticket.
You know what? I wouldn't do that now, but if I was in my 20s or even like late teens or something like that, maybe early 30s, I'd probably do it, but I just like watching the games home from TV where I have service. I can gamble on DraftKings. I don't got to worry about paying $8 for a beer. But it looked like fun. Like just that the fat dude with no shirt on going down the sled.
They get it done in Buffalo. Those Buffalo people are wild.
Probably my only claim to fame in the history of my life is I was at the game where they threw the dildo on the field.
the infamous dildo.
Yeah, and at the Bills, it was Halloween. It was my buddy Bodner. It was he was getting married, so him and a bunch of my buddies, we went to the game. We dressed up as Mario Kart. We had awesome tickets. We were right in the end zone. We were right in the end zone where Gronk scored his 69th touchdown, and we all had. It was pouring out, so we had my buddy also. He does like silk screening and embroidery and stuff like that. So he made us all ponchos, and it spelled out Gronk 69. And one of my two of my buddies actually made it to the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Really?
Yeah, I was at the end. I didn't make it on, but they made it on, which was pretty cool.
So what, did they cut out the 69?
No, I don't remember who was what, but just the angle of the shot, you saw you didn't even see the full ponchos. You saw like the corner there, like heads or whatever. I knew you could tell it was them because it was a Mario and a Luigi, and we were the only people dressed up like Mario Kart there. We were at the, I shouldn't have said, we were at the strip club the night before, and we were like, why did we buy these costumes just to wear them once?
The Providence ones?
Yeah.
Cheetahs?
No. And this is in Buffalo. So this is new territory. We didn't know what we were getting into.
No, because Foxborough right there. I remember we used to go to the
cheetahs.
Preseason workouts.
Yeah.
Then go to the Providence bars and strip clubs.
Yeah, Cheetahs is the best one. I don't know for sure. Foxy Lady always got a big rap because Mo Vaughn used to go there. So that was
it's one of my favorite stories ever. Do you hear about how he had his own? He used to just go in there and it was just strippers and wings. And this urban legend I heard of him is they bring him out a big plastic almost like a 55-gallon drum barrel from the kitchen. Just for his wings.
Wings.
Talking wings on wings all night. Wow. You just walk around the club just...
I wonder what flavor Mo Vaughn was. You think he went Buffalo?
Probably, yeah. But he seems like Rick Ross is like the Wingstop guy. Like Mo Vaughn's...
Dude, Mo Vaughn was the man. I wish... there's not many jerseys I would buy at this point. Mo Vaughn would definitely be a jersey I got. For sure.
One of the last ones to wear 42.
Yeah,
they retired
Jackie
Robinson, him and Mariano Rivera were the last 42s. But we were talking about Gronk real quick, and we got to see it yesterday on Fox. Real quick, there are a lot of them, but is there currently a worse sports analyst on TV right now than Rob Gronkowski? Because he's pretty damn bad.
It sucks because you want him.
He can't channel that.
You want him to be Gronk, but he can't be
for some. Read off a teleprompter.
No,
he has to be. Yeah, bro. Shotgun and beers.
He's good on. I've seen clips on the Edelman podcast, and I like him there, and I they have like a great dynamic, but something about the analyst thing, it's not. I don't know. Yeah, Gronk is not a good analyst.
He's one of my favorite. He could be my favorite player ever.
I have a good Gronk story.
Oh, go for it.
So
they're the best.
I went with my younger brother, Maddie, this other kid, Greg, and I think maybe it was just us two. But we went to Underbar in Boston, below that piano bar, something Wolf or something.
I know.
Oh, whatever. So it was the Underbar. So we were there one night. It turned out the night we were there, they were having a birthday party for Aaron Hernandez's brother. Younger brother, who I think played for LSU at the time.
Yeah, a quarterback or whatever.
Yeah. So it was a bunch of Pats. It was Hernandez, Gronk, just, they had their own kind of area, but it's not a big spot. It was a cool spot. And so we were there partying, and all of a sudden we look over. It was me and my brother Matty, probably trying to, talk to girls, but not successfully. Gronk comes over on the dance floor. He's got 3 girls. He's grinding with all these girls on, no shirt on whatsoever. Me and my brother Matty are like, what? This is amazing. Gronk took the Captain and Morgan's out of my brother Matty's hand, chugged it. Gronk spiked it on the ground. It was just yeah. And we were like, yeah. And he just kept dancing with the girls and just did it to maybe 50 other people on the dance floor, but everybody was just yes, please.
Do.
Oh my God.
6'7", 250. And that's the best thing about him in the world is because it's all natural. He is that meathead, that guy from the Revenge of the Nerds, the other friend, Ogre. He's Ogre.
He's Ogre.
But it's just natural. That's who he is. And if you were anything, that's why the football thing doesn't work. He should be out there calling people nerds.
It's
very upset at them.
It's like seeing a lion at the zoo. I want to see him on a safari where he could maybe kill me. I don't want to see him in the zoo all tranquilizered up,
I've been waiting for this. These cups are great.
Oh, look at that. You guys like this?
I'm not advertising which energy drink this is, but...
Followers of the show, you may notice a little something different today. We got mugs. I don't know if you can read those or not, but...
Is there anything more scumbag than me pouring an energy drink into this?
Oh, my God. Energy drinks. I had an energy drink this weekend.
This does look like the deposition room in a court. The whole...
Yeah.
I feel like I'm giving a statement right now.
Mike's about to we're about to get the detective to walk in and ask Mike the real questions that he wasn't expecting. Oh my gosh. Mike, actually, you know what? Before I forget too, for the first time, I'll put it up to prove it, but for the first time in a long time, I had a decent weekend betting UFC fights. I hit a 4-fight parlay. I hit a 2-fight parlay. And my lock, which I was telling a bunch of people about, Mario Batista had a sick fight against Ricky Simone. He won, and he was I think he went off at plus 160 or something like that. So that locked everything in. I finally had a good weekend betting, but other than that, I suck. And have you been playing much college hoops?
A little bit, yes and no. Now that I don't know, with bowl season came and these last NFL games that either meant something this week or really mean something now. I haven't bet any basketball much. I did do 1 or 2 bets. The parlays, man. They hurt much more. Losing the money. I never look at it as the amount of money that I lost, especially if you hit 4 or 5 legs on a parlay that you should have won, which I did last week. It's the money I could have won. It's never that sum that you physically lost. It's that sum times
Do you remember what the biggest odds parlay you ever hit was?
Not the odds, no, but it would. I've hit like 8 or 9 teamers before, where I used to go to like certain convenience stores and stuff and get a long ass like
You get the
CVS
ticket.
receipt. Yeah. But yeah, no, I've cleaned up a few thousand just on, I think 8 or 9 teams. God knows what the plus number would be, probably in the 10,000s, but
Yeah.
I haven't since all the DraftKings when you could see it. I think the most I probably won there would be a 4 or 5 teamer.
Yeah. I try not to get too magical with my parlays anymore because it's always, I get in that crazy like point where now I'm like hedging. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, I get in this hedge game and then it just makes it miserable for me. I probably shouldn't just be gambling at all, but
Parlays
it makes it fun.
Really is the sucker's bet. Like, it's designed for any, like, if there's any actual bookies or bookmakers, sure, parlay together whatever you want.
Yeah,
you
why
got
not?
these 3 you think are gonna win? Go for it. You're never gonna pay it out.
This is what I've been doing. This is what I've been doing for college hoops. My dad, who's also a degenerate gambler, he's trying to set me up to go along with his system. So his system is
I love a good system.
Okay.
If someone's got proof they've hit like 2 or 3 in a row too, I'm on.
I know. I just need 2. Give me 2 and I'm in. So this is what he does. He goes to like covers.com a lot and like looks up there because they do have actually like a lot of good stats if you want to like follow stats. So he goes to college hoops. He looks at the bottom 12 offensive.
I love this.
Bottom
I'm a fan
12
of this.
offensive
You're not betting on
teams.
someone. You're betting against someone.
Exactly.
All right.
So he likes to take the bottom 12. He plays the under. Well, he plays the matchup first. You know what I mean? It's like, what's the offense looking like on the team they're playing, whatever. But he usually will do, if he could bet all 12 of them, he'll bet all 12 of them. But it hasn't worked for me. He's been sending me a couple, but then like he'll send me them and it'll lose. I'm like, oh, that was the only one that lost. I'm like, well, just send me all of them then next time, so I don't have to pick one stupid one. Copen State though, I've hit their under since his system. That's been my only consistent is Copen University at Copen State, whatever they are.
I think it is Copen State. I will go on r/sportsbook on Reddit, and I got really deep into some real degenerate stuff. But there was a guy on there who was picking at like 75%. You can see all their past posts and everything, and whether they edit them or not. And all the people in the chat are all about this guy. So this guy was hitting at like 75%. His name was Ned Pepper. Shout out Ned.
Ned Peppers, let's get him on.
But Ned Pepper was hitting at 75% on British. It's called PDC, the Professional Dart
League. Oh
Championship.
yeah.
And he was hitting at like a 75% rate. And then I even knew about this kid before the whole world knew about it, but it kind of like blew up online with this 16-year-old British kid who legit looks older than both of us. He looks like a 47-year-old man, but he's 16, and he made it to the finals. And yeah, I was all on this kid before though, because of
Ned Peppers.
Pepper. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh man.
But yeah, if someone's got a good streak and they can say, hey, or the system, like you're saying, like I got this system, and right now I'm like 3 deep on a winning streak. I'll be like, well, I gotta hop on now before it turns. That's everything though. It's a streak. Maybe I'm just like a superstitious, streaky guy, but if the streak's going hot, you gotta ride it.
You gotta ride it. You can't not ride it. I will ride it till I die. But I need to get on a streak first. Technically, I'm on a UFC streak right now. Although I hedged my parlay, so part of me is like, did I jinx it a little bit? But it's a small hedge just to cover some stuff. But
that's my whole idea too. Is like I even know this about myself. I'm a bet a little amount a lot. Like say there's like.
That, by the way, that is Vegas's system.
Yeah, but like I can't pick one winner for the life of me. I thought the winner this week was the Rams money line, and it didn't hit. But like my problem with like a regular NFL week, there'll be like 13 to 14 games. Is if like I went Sunday morning and like looked at all of them, say there's 14 games. I can definitely hit 9 to 10 of these and be like well above 60% if I was betting them all at one unit.
Yeah.
The bad thing is, like the last week of the NFL season, I say, oh, there's no way Bill Belichick is going to go out on bottom losing to the Jets.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to go out on top. He's going to... But
no.
I can't pick that one winner for the life of me. Like, so that day, I put a lot of units on the Patriots, and they lost, and it messed up my whole day. But I don't even really know this. If I look back at the whole day, I was good and probably above 50%. And if they were all one unit plays, the same thing.
If you kept it straight, you'd be up a little bit. But it's the excitement. That's why we do it. It's like you just said, it's the Belichick can't go out like that. Like, there's no way he's going out like that. This money's too easy.
And I'm too much of a fan too to be like, it's either bet on the Patriots or don't bet the game at all.
Yeah.
Or like bet the under or something, which the under was golden that day. It was like 32, even like 28, like high 20s, and it covered under. That was an awful game. But yeah, I'll either just like, okay, it's either bet on the Patriots or don't bet the game.
Yeah.
Oh,
I try not to bet the Patriots much at all. I played them against Pittsburgh. That hit, so that was cool. But it's too emotional for me. I can't handle it. I'd rather see them just win and I'm happy, or lose and me not have the double wanted to kill myself feeling.
I'll tell you when, I don't know, the Belichick coaching, I love Bill so much,
too.
dude. He's my favorite person, dude. And
the best.
I was always a big Tom Brady fan, and I still am, but like, it's Tom Brady. I could be a fan of Tom, so that way if Tom goes to the Buccaneers, I'm not going to be like a Buccaneers fan. I was a Tom fan. But it's going to be weird if Bill goes to a good team.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about the Cowboys. I always hated the Cowboys. But like that's the move.
That's probably where he's going. It's
that's
like
the Darth Vader move, and I can't respect anything more than that.
I know.
I have to like it
dude,
so much.
I'm so scared that I'm gonna like the Cowboys next year.
And I'm gonna have to.
I know. Man, Bill. You know what aggravates me about it though? I don't think we're better off without him.
Yeah.
I nothing against Gerard Mayo, but if you're going to get rid of him, just bring in something completely new and fresh. I feel like they're trying to play this, well, we're going to keep some of the staff and, keep some things the same. And it's going to be like a half of change when they either needed to just keep him and let him tweak a few things, or just make something completely new happen. It just kind of aggravates me.
You are right. Like, it could have been like a slow succession plan if like Bill was still here and Gerard was coaching and Bill's kids. But it's like they chose neither. Yeah, they did a clean break with the guy who was already here.
Yeah.
And I don't know. After having Bill all these years, I like Gerard as a player. I think he's probably going to be a really good coach, but like, it's after Bill. Give me Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Give me Vrabel. Give me...
I was thinking Vrabel. I thought he would have actually been a good fit, and he's got playoff experiences. Players seem to respect him and like him.
The crazy thing is, it's the Cowboys, too, and any of these, like, very few of these NFL jobs have full control and ownership. So, like, yeah, I would like to see Bill on the Cowboys, but also... like a Mike Vrabel Cowboys coach or a Jim Harbaugh Cowboys coach, or I love these conspiracy theories too. Does Nick Saban want to like try to win a Super Bowl with a pre-Super Bowl made team? Because that's the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
The Cowboys are like Alabama in the NFL. There's so much talented people on there. But granted, half the people probably I know Lamb went to Alabama. They probably all went to play it at fucking Alabama
somewhere
on the Cowboys.
Yeah. What would that look like? A Belichick Saban-led Dallas Cowboy team? Like, I would assume Belichick would take the head coach role, but I don't know, maybe not. That would be crazy. That's like some real deep stuff.
Like talk about it too, especially those two guys, Belichick and Saban. Like, oh, they're the ultimate, and they are the ultimate team guys. Like, if you're a member of their team. They're not a member of that team, though.
Yeah.
So Bill wants those 15 wins to beat Shula and be the GOAT. That's what he really wants. And if I don't know Saban as well, but if I had to guarantee the one thing that like irks Saban when he goes to sleep at night is like, oh, they called me like a pushover in the NFL. Like, I did run out on the Dolphins and legit say in a press conference, I'm not going to Alabama, and then went to Alabama. That press conference is great.
I don't really like Nick Saban. I don't know what it is.
He's got that Belichick attitude.
I know, but something's a little bit different. I can't explain it. Just something seems. I feel like if I met him, I'd be like, nah, I don't like this guy. I don't know why. Kind of doesn't make any sense. Like he coaches like one of my favorite ways, like a person coaches. Like he is, like you said, he's a team player. Did you ever see actually? I think it was it last season or this season when the two players are there and he like stops the press and he's like these two guys like gave their everything. Like it's a cool moment, but part of me is like I feel like he's saying this yes to uplift them, but also because everybody in this room is watching you do this. Like no, gentlemen, sit down. I've got something to say. Like I don't know, it's kind of a douche move. But man, I don't know. So if Belichick goes to a team and wins, now's the thing: is it all Kraft's fault? is Kraft the problem? Because I can't picture us being good next year.
No,
I don't know what it is. Like
we're far away, especially with a. That's also the thing I get. All right, so we had all these quarterback problems. We're gonna bring in a new quarterback. You're going to give him to a guy who's legit, like, probably, like, 10, 12 years older than him and never coached before. And, like, yeah, maybe the 10, 12 years older thing might be good, but, like, Mayo don't know what to do with a quarter. Or O'Brien. O'Brien didn't do that great this year. Does O'Brien even stay without Bill?
Yeah. That probably not. I feel like O'Brien's gone. I don't know what the relationship him and Mayo had because O'Brien. How long was he with the Pats for? Not even that long.
Just last year.
Well, I'm saying before that, his tenure before that. Like I'm sure some of it overlapped with Mayo, but I don't know.
O'Brien's got to kind of be sitting there like, he was the first coach at Penn State after the whole Sandusky and Joe Paterno died, and he wasn't going to a bowl game. That was his first head coaching job. And then he went there. He went to the Texans, and that team never made the playoffs. And he's got to be sitting there like, come on. I'm working for Gerard now?
Yeah. I think he did all right with Penn State, though, right?
Yeah.
They did pretty well.
They couldn't have a bowl game.
Yeah.
Because they were banned from bowls just until, 5 years ago. But... yeah,
my dad was such a big. I don't know what I'm talking about. My dad so much. Huge Penn State. I mean, he's Italian, so it's like Italian. Yeah. Like Paterno was like a god. Like I'll talk smack about it, but he gets mad at me when I do it. But he used to. He would take like my brother and I to Penn State. One of his buddies he worked with played basketball for Michigan, so he used to get alumni tickets. So I used to always go to, or not always, like once for the Penn State Michigan game.
That must be awesome.
It was always a whiteout, which is cool. And
whiteouts are so cool. That whole town, it is the town, Happy Valley. It is Penn State. Like, that's a college-run town. My
brother, 4 years in a row, went to the Penn State football camp.
Really?
Yeah, he was a quarterback. He was a quarterback, played offense, never near Sandusky. So he tells me. I don't think Sandusky, because he'd already been removed from the coaching staff. Yeah, I forget what year.
I think late 90s, early 2000s, because they won, I think they won the Rose Bowl. And
they beat Nebraska, right?
Those whole convoluted old bowl games, too, were so crazy to where, it was the point where they didn't know, where this could be a national championship if so-and-so loses, but they, carried Sandusky off on their shoulders and stuff.
Dude, what? Yeah, I don't know. That is a dark subject, but that is messed up. I don't know. I don't even know where to go with that, but yeah. But he would still lurk around. He was off, but he would still come around. Go shoot that guy. You know what I mean? What? Get out of here, dude. Fucking. Oh my gosh. But yeah, man, Bill, probably Dallas. You got to think that's where he's going to end up. I could see him maybe going to the Raiders, but I don't know. I think that's not going to happen. They probably want someone young.
It's going to be decided after this week or next, I think. And he's going to go with whatever team. Like, the Bills look like they're going to win right now, but say they just go and choke on themselves next week and don't even make it, they could... Something in the back of my head thinks, like, I mean, I know he just got fired. It's not all good between him and Kraft. But Bill also is the most spiteful, hateful person. And really, if you're thinking about it from a logistical point of view, you got 14 games to win. Wouldn't you like to go to the Buffalo or the Jets and get 4 guaranteed wins in 2 years against the Patriots?
Yeah.
So they're guaranteed W's.
Yeah.
The Jets is just crazy, too, because of how much he hates the Jets. But really, it is the thinking. There's not a more Darth Vader move than going to the Jets.
Yeah.
After the Jets game, who does he look out like? None of his own players?
I know.
Where's that Aaron Rodgers guy? Let me give him a big warm embrace.
I know. That's a scary thought, Bill and the Jets. You know, the Jets, part of me just thinks so they're always going to be the Jets, but they actually, I mean, their defense was really stacked this year. Injuries kind of killed them. But Breece Hall's money, Aaron Rodgers, if he's healthy, that would be such a good situation. Belichick and Rodgers.
That's the thing that makes me think that he might not go to Dallas, because I can't see him and a quarterback like Dak Prescott. It's just that he's a new, younger guy, makes mistakes. Bill hates mistakes. Yeah. If Bill were on the sidelines yesterday, he would have literally been pulling his hair out with those interceptions. But, like, Bill's going to go to some place with a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, to where he can be like, it was like Brady. It's like, all right, Aaron. I mean, yeah, I got these plays in my thing, but go out there and run the offense. Like, you know what you want to do. You got your guy over here. You can have your offensive coordinator guy. We know. It's the same thing with Brady. Just let Tom go out there and sling it. He wants to bring Gronk in. He wants to bring Antonio Bryan.
Yeah.
Just let him. He's kind of running the offense. So we'll win a Super Bowl with it.
Have you been reading any of the articles coming on ESPN?
They're my favorite thing in the world, dude. I forget the guy's name, but this one guy has like a tell-all.
The Wickersham?
Yes, yeah. Wickersham. And oh my God, it's the best, dude. Just the little caddy stuff. It's my favorite. Yeah. That's my favorite part of Belichick, too. But they're saying that him and Kraft might not have even, like, spoken from, like, week 1 until week 17. Oh, my favorite thing, one of the best things is Jonathan Kraft said it. And he said something about, he won't even acknowledge my dad in the hall. Can you imagine being in Patriot Place? Like, Robert Kraft owns this whole monstrous thing. And, like, granted, Bill is like the CEO of the company. He runs the Patriots, like team, like coaches, managers, and everything. But could you imagine, like, just walking by your boss and not acknowledging him, just walking straight by in the hallway? It's just you two in a hallway, and this mega cajillionaire who
giving you the cold shoulder.
Oh man.
The press conference too. It seems such. Like they were doing what gentlemen do, what men their age do. They put that stuff aside in front of the camera. They say, everything's amicable, like blah, blah, blah. And then, afterwards they're just like, F you. One of my favorite things, it was actually an older picture from, I think March. I think it was Robert Kraft had these pins made for the anti-Semitism. He puts the pin like down here.
Did you see the quote? I have it on my phone.
Yeah. Well, yes, read the quote.
God. The quote's the best.
Belichick.
I'm not gonna be able to get it up. I think it's in a group chat, so I was gonna. But there's something like, can you explain the pin on your thing? And Bill's exact words were, yes, that's Robert's initiative.
Yeah.
And they're like, do you have anything more on his initiative? And he just says, I support it, period. It's my favorite stuff in the world. The way he handles people is the best.
I wonder what changes about Bill Belichick when he goes to a new team. Like, there's got to be a lot of things similar, I'm sure, But there's going to be like one weird, like he's going to be wearing something different. He's going to have like a backwards hat, something different. I don't know what it is yet, but he's going to try to like troll everybody with it.
That's the one thing when they're talking about like the Chargers and stuff, who are interviewing Harbaugh like right now. But like, try to picture Bill on the sideline in like a powder blue and yellow hoodie. Like,
He ain't going to Chargers.
No, it don't work. Someone was saying, he's old. He's gonna go like retire somewhere to where it's like good and sunshiny. It's like no. Have you not learned anything these past 24 years? Yeah. He wants it dark and gloomy and snowy in January, and
he wants to go somewhere he knows that there's going to be some sort of environmental factor that he can figure into his plans.
Or where people care about football.
Yeah.
Like, people care about football here in Dallas and Buffalo. Buffalo, it's their whole life. There's not another major sports team besides the Sabres. That's why I don't think Atlanta, all those states in the South, like, people in Georgia don't even really like the Falcons.
No.
They like the Bulldogs and Georgia football. It's like, yeah. Falcons.
Oh, definitely you're going to find more, like, SEC fans than just, like, Atlanta Falcons fans.
Yeah.
Like, nobody cares about the Falcons. Say, like, San Diego... Wait, are the Chargers moving, right? Yeah.
They are LA now.
LA. I don't know why I said San Diego, but, like, the Chargers, the Rams, like, the Rams, even though they play well and now celebrities kind of go to their games, like, nobody really cares about the Rams either.
Was it that bad in St. Louis? Because football's like never worked in LA. Like,
yeah.
I don't know why not stay in St. Louis. St. Louis seems like a good sports town to me, but that's why I can't see him going to a place that doesn't really like care about football, like Atlanta or some of the other teams they were talking about. But no, yeah, it's just AFC or NFC East. Like the Redskins make sense, even though they're not. They have no one on the team, and anyone they did have, they traded at the trade deadline.
Yeah, but they got a good fan base for sure. Yeah. Outdoor stadium. Yeah, I don't know where Bill goes. It just stinks. I really wish he was still staying with the Patriots. I am in that sort of. I almost feel that feeling when we lose a Super Bowl and you're like wiped out for the next week. Like you don't even know what to do. That's how I felt when he left. Like, even though I know whatever is time, like we stunk. Fine, time for change, but
it is kind of time for a new. It's just I don't think it's a new. It's Gerard Mayo. And exactly. I forget the guy they said they're going to be bumping up to GM. But he's been there for years, too. He's another, like, Bill guy. And it's just more of the same, but different.
It feels just like a bunch of dudes got together and convinced Robert Kraft that Bill was the problem and everything's going to be different under them. But it's the same. It's going to be the same.
Yeah.
The Pats are going to stink, which sucks.
And they're going to stink for a while, too, because they're far away. Like, even every fan looks at, like, the draft process, and I like watch a little bit. Like, if you take another quarterback in like the first round and he doesn't hit again, like you already set yourself back 3 to 5 years with Mac Jones. Just take kind of the best player available. I'd take Marvin Harrison Jr. Before the quarterback, just because he's gonna help a young quarterback out and go get the ball wherever he puts it.
Yeah, and you could probably trade down to get him too.
The Bears' position they're in is the best position in the world. Like, that's why I kind of hope someone takes Marvin Harrison. So the Patriots at 3, whoever wants that second quarterback can jump up, because the Bears didn't even have to stink last year, even though they did, but they still got the first round pick because the Panthers are just inept.
God awful.
And they didn't even pick the right guy.
No.
C.J. Stroud, look at that. He was just sitting there. He fell to the Texans.
Yeah.
Panthers said, we're going to give up everything in the world. And if they gave up everything in the world and got C.J. Stroud, they're looking like geniuses right now. They gave up everything in the world and got good old Bryce Young, who's like 5'4" and can't even...
What a bad read of a quarterback class from Carolina. Oh. Just terrible. Absolutely terrible.
I couldn't really believe that. Like, I know Flacco's an old quarterback, but, man, they got thoroughly shellacked the Browns on Saturday. Like, that was an old school whooping.
Beat down.
It was crazy.
Absolute beat down. I love Love's the man though. Love's playing nice. I like him.
That was an absolute clinic too.
Yeah.
That game was over in the first quarter.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
They should have had 2 interceptions for touchdowns, which I think the odds on that, for some reason, I was looking at those game props on DraftKings before the game started, and it was, I want to say like plus 15,000, something like that. Yeah, for two pick sixes. I was like, oh man, if I played that, I would have been a genius. But I wouldn't have hit it. But
this is how dumb I am and how much of a fan, sports bettor I am. It made sense in my head, but this year, all this 2023 year, starting with like week 1, I was like, all right, I kind of knew the Patriots suck, but I'm like, their defense is so good. And last year in 2022, they had like, I think like 4 games in a row where either their defense or special teams scores a touchdown.
Yeah.
So I rode that, and I rode that every week for probably about the first 5 or 6, maybe even 7 to 8 weeks of the season. Just losing every week.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think their defense did score a touchdown around like week 14, 15 or something, but I was done betting it by then. That was a rough one. But last year, oh my God, that was that whole punt return, like a walk-off punt return versus the Jets. And that
was sick.
D special teams touchdown. So like, I remember I had that game, and I was flipping out.
that is like the best scenario possible. Like the walk-out, you hit your bet, like just pack up, go home, like nothing better than that.
I was listening to that game on the radio too. That's one of the most degenerate things I can do. But
Zolak probably had a sick call on it too.
Oh my God, it was. I mean, the people who have actual talent doing sports radio are hockey. You ever listen to a hockey game on the radio?
Hockey games are cool.
Dude, they paint a picture. It's so unreal. Left to right on the ice, blah, 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 set up like this. Like, that takes talent. Like, I feel like I could maybe sit and be like, Brady drops back, or baseball. Oh my God, 162 nights a year. Yeah, he's up there. He took a look at it, you know. But hockey, they're out there. They're like sweating, dude. They're painting pictures with words. It's crazy.
I felt like such an idiot actually after I said this to him, but I had the owner of Combat FC on the podcast, and he was like talking about, things that he does, or like things that he's trying to do to like advance the fight promotion, and he eventually wants to move out to bigger arenas, and then wants to have a show in Miami and stuff like that. And I was thinking, I was like, I have such a good idea. I was like, you know what you should do? I was like, you should try to simulcast fights on the radio. To like, I thought in my head, I was like, this is going to be like the sickest idea ever. And then I could see the look at his face.
AM radio station.
The guy was like, "Oh yeah," like he was like, "Oh, we'll look into that." I was like,
"Oh man,"
I was like, "Okay, Fred, way to pitch your one idea. Like, oh, let's go to this dying medium."
Nothing's worse than a polite "we'll look into that." Too. That's the most dismissing comment.
Oh
we'll
my God!
That.
He's like, "Well, look at it." I was like, I was so confident he was going to be like, you know what? That was the best idea I've ever heard. Actually, we're going to do that. Fred, take 10% of our earnings. Oh, my gosh. Oh, you know what? This actually doesn't have anything to do with sports, but do you watch True Detective at all?
Yes, none of the new one. And I've kind of fell off. The first one was the best.
Yeah,
the best
sick,
ever.
right?
And then I remember watching a little of the Vince Vaughn one, and I think I maybe tapped on that, and I didn't watch the third one or this new one. I might get into the new one.
Okay, I'm not going to spoil or anything. I haven't made up my mind yet, but usually I make up my mind about a show. I'm not very good. I need to give shows a little bit more time, but I'm not giving up on it. But first episode, I was a little bit like, this is just, it's weirder than the other seasons.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Like, without giving anything away.
Damn, weirder than the Yellow King?
Not, okay, when I say weird, it's like, I can't without like giving something away tell you why it's like seems weirder to me.
Is it like, dude, I think Mayor of Easttown was very True Detective.
That was a great show,
that
too.
That show was awesome. Like, it wasn't as good as McConaughey and Woody and True Detective, but, like, I'd say it's better than any True Detective season after that, without me seeing a second of season 3.
That could have easily just been a True Detective.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. Was that on Showtime or HBO?
HBO.
HBO, okay. Yeah, they should just call it True Detective season 2
and
and a
her
half.
accent, like, oh my god.
Yeah. What was it, Pittsburgh or something?
Yeah, it has a little bit of that trashy Philly, like, but definitely Pennsylvania, but just to be like a Brit and all proper, Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
And then just like, it'd be like, I always said this too, Boston accents, it's rough. The best Boston accent I ever heard, is Alec Baldwin in The Departed. And he's not even from Boston.
Yeah.
But he is so much more natural sounding
he's good at that.
than anyone else from Boston. Mark Wahlberg sounds like affectated, and it's like, oh, no one really talks like this, even though people do. But you hear Alec Baldwin, and it's like, oh my god, that's like...
Yeah. Because he did it in a way that was... He did it like... And I don't mean this as an adjective, but he did it like a boss, like the boss perspective, which is like... You know, trying to like direct people where to go as far as like the police in that movie. And I feel like that added a little bit of subtlety to it.
Or it's also kind of him in 30 Rock, too, the Donaghy character.
Yeah.
But like it's much more subdued there.
Dude, one of the funniest things I've ever done in my life. This is the only time, counting any time I've ever been on stage, the only time I've ever really gotten solid laughs from a crowd was at the Titanic. I went to see the Titanic with whoever, I forget who. And, you know, there's a part where she gets naked and Leo's like drawing the picture of her.
Paint me like your French girls.
Yeah. So he's painting her. And then in the middle of the movie, I did the ow. And I was probably, you know, whatever. I was in like 6th grade, 7th grade, whatever grade it was. And the place erupted, like killed, like the best joke I've ever had in my life. And I went back the next day specifically for that one. I got greedy. I tried doing it again.
Very tricky, dude.
And it was almost like people thought I like kicked their dog.
Yes.
Like people were so mad at me. Like I thought I was gonna get kicked out of the movies. But the night before, I think it was because it was a Friday night.
Night crowd.
Had the night crowd, a few drinks, a couple of pills probably. It was Revere movie theaters, probably some heroin.
Yeah.
But I absolutely floored that room. Crushed it. And I even did I did the ow, and then like everyone's down, and I did one more little pop, like ow, and like even that got a little bit of respect. But
it's a similar thing. The only thing I can think of really is like a well-placed fart.
Yeah.
It can be either like you gotta adjust with the sound going on. If there's a lull in the scene, you know, and you hit them with a toot, that could kill.
Yeah.
Or it could also, if you do it at the wrong time, they're like, oh, this dickhead's just farting to and fro wherever he pleases.
Yeah. Oh, man. A good fart movie is awesome, too. Oh, my God. I actually, probably my best fart ever was not intentional, but I was in gym class. And, like, we're doing sit-ups. I was probably, I think, 5th grade. And I wasn't trying. I was like trying everything I could to not do it because I'm around a bunch of girls I had a crush on, like whatever, you know, I'm already self-conscious about myself. And I did the sit up and it would just like smacked off the wooden floor. It was just brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Acoustics? Is that good?
Bad. Oh yeah. It's echoing. No soundproof. It was, you know, Linden Elementary, which is in Malden. Malden's got like 5 different elementary schools. So they kind of crammed in there, and it's like those pull away from the wall. Like it's in the gym, you know what I mean? Like you unlock it and you pull the thing down. So it's just this big, huge, wide open space, and just like boom, 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 it just echoed like crazy. Oh man, I got made fun of pretty bad for that one. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm a piece of shit.
It always comes back to farts, really. It all comes back to farts.
Yep. I don't even have any liquid in this cup. I'm just holding it. I was debating. I don't know if I should pour a little of this in here because I keep picking that up. All right. Mike, I've heard through the grapevine that you're actually really good at picking college mascots. If I say the college team, you could pick the mascot.
It's a useless skill, but yes, after many years of degeneracy, I feel like I have a grasp on.
It just so happens, ladies and gentlemen, I compiled a list.
All right.
I'm not going to tell you where I got this information from, the internet, but I have a list of 15 college teams. Kind of obscure, all D1, I believe. But this is what I'm going to do. If Mike can give me the mascot to 10 of these teams, he's going to get himself a free Barn Burner mug. Not that one. That one's used. He's going to get a brand new Barn Burner mug because nobody should win a game for nothing.
So the over-under is 9.5?
9.5. Wait a minute.
Any wagerers at home,
1, 2,
bet responsibly.
Okay. Time is up on the clock.
All right.
This isn't even timed. I don't know why I mentioned that. Okay. I'm going to name the college, university.
Yeah.
You tell me the mascot. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. First college, Kentucky.
Wildcats.
Dayton.
Flyers.
Kentucky State.
They're also the Wildcats. No, that's Kansas State. Fuck, I fucked it up. Yeah, I'll go with the Wildcats, too. Going with the Wildcats or Huskies is very good because there's going to be like 10 Huskies and 10 Wildcats.
Texas Tech.
The Red Raiders.
Kansas.
The Jayhawks.
Western Kentucky. I don't know why I have so many Kentuckys.
They're like the Ramblers or something. The Western Kentucky Ramblers, I'm saying.
UCLA.
The Bruins.
North Carolina.
That's the Tar Heels.
Charlotte.
Charlotte. I really don't know. I'm going to go Huskies there, too.
Wisconsin.
Those are the Badgers.
Virginia.
Those are the Cavaliers. I'm going to answer that in a very cavalier way, too. The Cavaliers.
Colorado State.
The Rams.
Oregon State.
Those are the Beavers, kid. The Beavers.
Murray State.
Murray State. Oh, my God. Murray State's one of the really funny ones, too. I can't... The Racers. They're the Racers.
Wow.
Not the racist, but the Racers.
Oh, my gosh. Guys. You made it. I think you believe you got 11.
All right.
Kentucky Wildcats, correct. Daytona Flyers, correct. Kentucky State is the Thoroughbreds.
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't know.
You got the Red Raiders, got the Jayhawks. Western Kentucky are the Hilltoppers.
Oh, the Hilltoppers, the Ramblers. Oh, the Hilltoppers.
You got the Bruins, Tar Heels, Charlottes, the 49ers.
That's crazy.
And then you ran out. Badgers, Cavaliers, Rams, Beavers, Racers. Oh, wait, you said Racers, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The
All
Murray
right.
State one would have tortured me if I didn't get that. Oh, my God.
Wow. Man, that was good.
All right.
I wish I had I don't have any skills.
That's not a skill. That's not good. If I was at a store and something came like, say it was $5.50 and I only had $5, and I said, hey, if you rattle off a few NCAA colleges, I can name them for the extra 50 cents, then no one would take
They're not going to take that bet.
It's not worth $1.
That was pretty impressive. Wow. So when you were a little kid and like normal people were learning the state capitals, you were learning the college mascots?
No, I have this set of buddies. This is obviously my degenerate gambler friends, but you brought up a few of those schools. It's just kids with awful Boston accents. It's like, who'd you take today, kid? You took Oklahoma or Oregon State? The Beavers, kid? You took the Beavers? Or the Badgers? The Badgers is another good Boston one, too. I took the Badgers.
The Badgers,
Quit
kid.
badgering me. I took the Badgers. But, oh, yeah, any funny ones? Like, I think I brought it up in the text to you. Another Boston one. Anything with the R's at the end, obviously, Boston says funny, but the Wichita State, the Shockers, which that's the name of the school, and obviously any degenerate college student or degenerate would be like, oh, the Shockers. It's like, yeah, I bet on the Shockers today, kid.
Yeah.
The Shockers.
Oh.
It has no.
No real value?
None at all. None whatsoever.
Dude, it got you a free mug.
I know. Yeah, dude.
Oh, man.
This is what I'm going to drink my fucking cyanide-laced hot cocoa with when I finally off myself after one of these bad Sundays.
Absolutely, man.
Gonna have to pry it out of my cold, dead hands.
Yeah, so who do you like tonight? Bucks or Tampa Bay? I mean, Bucks or Philly?
I'll always bet against Philly. Something about I always hate Philly. I don't know why. Just I can like individual players on their teams. It was even the Nick Foles Super Bowl didn't help either. I hate that one more than the 17-0 one. I hate that Nick Foles one almost. But similar thinking to what I had with the Rams last night, only I won't mess up and put money on the Bucks to win it money line. But the Bucks are at 3 right now at home. I bought them up at extra point and say, hey, if it's a field goal game, I still win. If the Bucks win at home, which it's a playoff game at home, I don't know. The Eagles also have Matt fucking Patricia calling their defense too. So if you have any confidence in betting on a Matt Patricia-led defense whatsoever, there's got to be something.
School's out on Matty P.
Oh,
I love the fight. I forget which corner was it that he got into a fight with.
I think they say it was Malcolm Butler.
No, not on the Patriots when he went to Detroit.
Ones,
yeah. Who was it?
It was Slay, right?
Yeah.
Was coaching Slay again.
Yeah. Oh man.
People think that Malcolm Butler had a problem with basically that whole defensive side of the ball. Yeah. Which, when you break it down, is really Matt Patricia and Bill Belichick's two sons.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I
heard there's also the rumor that he was banging one of Patricia's kids' girlfriends or something like that.
Yeah, the rumors went out like crazy, but I don't think there's ever really been any concrete stuff saying, this is why Malcolm Butler was benched. People have said that, too. It's he was banging Belichick's kid's wife, dude. It's it's Bill Belichick. He's probably just some petty grudge or I don't think it was anything like that.
And they probably ain't bringing their wives around. You know what I mean? I also heard he was on Molly.
That was post Aaron Hernandez too. That's when you tell the wives maybe all the
don't
guys with the locker room antics. You should just. People don't talk about that often, but let it be said. There's always they call them the pink hat fans, the ladies or whatever. Their favorite player ever, dude. The hardest guy. It was awesome hearing all the moms with the Boston accents too, but Aaron Hernandez was adored, dude.
Dude, the 81 jerseys were flying off the
pink
shelves.
81s, yeah.
If you had a pink 81, you were a bad girl.
A pink 81 today is, man. I'm swiping on that Tinder pic.
Oh my God.
Pink 81 jersey? Oh,
dude,
man.
if I see a girl wearing a pink 81 jersey, I'm just giving her my checkbook and just, let's see what happens. I'll be paying alimony for that one, for sure. My buddies, I think, ended up selling Hernandez a car. The store I was telling earlier about Underbar, he was just talking to Hernandez afterwards.
Better than renting him a car.
I know. He was at least just talking to him. He said the kid sold, one of the kids also sold Land Rovers at the time, and he said he wanted to buy a Land Rover.
That was the whole thing too. It was a rental car, right? That they brought back, and they found shell casings in the fucking rental car, just willy nilly, under the seat where you'd find a French fry in my car. Fucking
so stupid. I think I played against that kid. Was Lamar Odom was his name, right?
Oh, I forget his name.
I think Lamar. Died, yeah, right? I played for a couple of years for a semi-pro team, the North Shore Generals out of Lynn, Mass.
All right.
And he played for the Boston Panthers. I don't know if we ever overlap games or not, but
Odin Lloyd.
Owen Lloyd. What did I say? Lamar Odom?
Yeah, which is very different, but ironically, not that far off. Dude, I love a good Lamar Odom story, too. Like, it's awesome. No one who ever, like, the reason why Lamar Odom kind of is famous is because he was that damn good. Yeah. Like, not, like, good, like, Kobe lead your team to a championship, but be that guy next to Kobe and next to Gasol or whatever. But, like, Lamar Odom was really, like, that early... He was that guy, like, KD or Giannis, what they do now. That, like, 6'10" guy who takes the ball up the court and has handles and just does everything. Dishes, rebounds, just does everything.
Could hit threes, too. Yeah,
he was came good. From New York City, too. Like, do you watch? I don't want to advertise other podcasts on your podcast.
No, go for it.
But the best podcast in the world, by far, is the Cameron and Mace Sports Talk Show.
Mace, the rapper Mace?
Yes.
Oh, dude, I love me some Mace.
Well, first of all, just the whole time, every show, they've got to have hundreds of hours now. It's just them making the pause joke. Oh, like the homophobic, like, say the gayest thing you can and then say pause. That's the whole show. But no, they have... Dude, on Mondays they have OJ come in and talk college football during the college football.
What?
I swear to God, they have OJ zoom in.
Wow.
And then they have OJ come in. They got someone else, but like for real, they get interviews that you don't have, and they were talking about like the best. Why I brought this up is they were talking about the best New York City basketball players the other day and how there hasn't been an actual star since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. There's been a lot of really good guys like Lamar Odom and
was Carmelo
Stephon
from
Marbury. No, it was weird. So he was born there, but is like a Baltimore kid.
Oh,
so
yeah, Baltimore.
Like, consider it. I mean, they have like Marbury and Lance Stevenson and like Kemba. Kemba is probably the best New York City guy since Marbury, I guess. Marbury was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's deceptive. One of the best sporting events I ever went to, too, was I used to frequently go to the Celtics games, and this one had to be, it was one of the years, it was the year KG was out, and the Magic and Dwight Howard ended up going to the NBA Finals, but it was the year Big Baby trampled a kid on the sideline in Orlando. I don't know if you remember this, but he hit the game-winning three in Orlando, and like it was like a walk-off buzzer beater three, and Big Baby hit it, this big 280-pound guy, and people started running on the floor, and there was a kid in Orlando that ran on the floor, and Big Baby just ran right through him. And mind you, this is a guy who Shaq says, Shaquille O'Neal, 7'4", 300 pounds, he'd always be like, hey man, I couldn't take down Big Baby at the knees, like Big Baby was a force. He just tramples this kid. But long story short, after that, we go to the Garden, it's a playoff overtime game. And at this point, the Celtics were just bringing in veterans. Like Rasheed Wallace, I think, was on the team at the time. But Marbury was on the team. A little bit, I don't know if you remember this, too. Marbury went kind of crazy before he went to China and went on YouTube Live and just started eating Vaseline. He says it won't make you sick. He went really crazy and legit was on... Bring up a video of Marbury eating Vaseline. But in the fourth quarter... overtime in this Orlando Magic, Marbury went crazy and was like at this point like a 30-year-old Marbury. Like the year before he went over to China, and he was pretty sure he wore number 12 for the Celtics. But I can remember the Garden was the loudest I ever heard it. Just like making a run in an overtime. I think it was the Eastern Conference Finals, if not the semifinals. But oh man, I remember it was at the time. This will tell you the time too. Soulja Boy. Turn My Swag On was like the biggest song at the time. And just, I remember I was obviously in the nosebleed seats, like $20 tickets a day of. But, yeah, the Garden was literally shaking. Like, I felt weird in my nosebleed seats. Like, if these things give out. Oh, is this Marbury eating Vaseline?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Oh, hold on, I'm gonna get it on the big. I'm gonna get this on the big screen. What?
I think it was.
Well, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen this. I'm very pumped.
It's awesome.
What?
Yeah. Stephon.
Take some Vaseline and swallow it.
Pause, Ayo. Pause. No, not actually pause. That's the.
Hold on,
If
this
Cameron
gotta-
and May saw that, they'd be saying pause all day. He's got statues of him in China eating Vaseline.
What is
He's just
the
got a statue of him eating Vaseline.
what is the
I think
nutritional value of eating Vaseline?
he was. God only knows what he was on at that time, but I think he said it. That one has like a nice graphic and everything. It's like the downfall of his career. Stephon Marbury eats Vaseline.
Oh, what the hell?
If they put dogs with shoes on every advertisement, I'd really buy a lot more things. Capital One knows how to get you. Dogs with shoes.
This is aggravating. I'm gonna watch the short video one more time.
I want to make. I want to make videos like
It's Waterloo.
What? All right.
that was a legendary game though, and I was there to witness that. The Stephon
yeah.
Marbury Celtics renaissance.
Did he say? Did he say he was going to CVS after he went?
Vaseline on me. Buy everyone shots of Vaseline.
Oh man, what the hell? That's so weird. I'm trying to. I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with that one.
I really am just glad that I didn't fail and fall right on my face in front of everyone with the college basketball or the basketball team names. Not even basketball.
Oh,
teams,
yeah.
the university names. Because man, if there's ever an example of me being a little cocky, being like, "Hey, Freddie, it might be good for a little quiz. I know my basketball team names. I don't know why I can't say fucking college teams names. Oh boy, drank too much of this here Red Bull.
Yeah.
See, it's empty. But yeah, no, any time was an opportunity for me to fail and fall right on my face. That was it. And I got
Dude, that was it, but-
good. I would not live it down if I didn't get the Murray State Racers. Because that's where John Morant went, and then Dame Lillard, too, I think, went to Murray State. But
Dude.
if I didn't get that Racers ones, I wouldn't have been able to
You
live
killed it.
down.
The bright lights were shining, but you're like a diamond.
Yeah.
You shine under pressure. You let the stress just, make you into a diamond. I'm an idiot too. For some reason, I can't talk today for some reason. I don't know what's wrong with me. I had COVID last week, so I didn't do any, or the week before rather. I haven't done any mics. I canceled the podcast last week. So I feel like I just haven't talked in like 2 weeks. So I feel a little bit just like stupid for some reason.
It is
My
weird.
brain's mush.
Sometimes all we have to do is like get on here and go on stage and talk. I can't get it done sometimes.
I know.
Never mind really saying anything funny, which I don't do a lot of the times. But like just speaking sometimes is too much for me.
Yeah.
Like I'm really a mushmouth idiot a lot of the times. Like listening to Robert Kraft talk is one of my favorite things
Yeah.
too, because it gives me hope. It was like listening to when Mayor Menino
Oh,
used to
Menino.
talk. But like just
the worst.
hearing Robert Kraft turkey gobble his way through it really gives someone
I know.
with a speech impediment like myself real
I listen to like old Menino clips, Kraft clips, and Joe Biden clips just to like make myself feel better
Yeah.
about talking.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is okay. Well, this is better. I could do worse. Oh my gosh. But Mike, I think we got to wrap things up. But dude, thank you again so much for coming in. You are a pro. Guys, if you see Mike at any show, any open mic, I want you to pick a college, stick to D1. Don't be a loser and be like, oh, what's the Springfield
Middlesex Community College
yeah.
mascot.
But I want you to test this man because he's going to get you. But this has been the Barn Burner Breakdown. Mike, do you have any shows or anything coming up that you want to plug?
Nah, not really. No, I
Nice.
do in February. I got 1 or 2 coming up. Just go to Mike Dupont, haha, LOLJK on
Awesome.
Instagram.
Hell yeah.
I'm very bad at naming things.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. It's a memorable one, though.
Just wait till my kid Seven Costanza.
Yeah, 7. That's a classic too.
Yeah.
Could go boy or girl. But yeah, guys, this has been the Barn Burner Breakdown. I'm your host, Fred Sabelli. Thank you for checking us out. I actually had some things I was going to plug, but I kind of already forgot what they are. I didn't write them down, so I'll just plug it somewhere else, I guess. Yeah, thanks again, and we'll catch you next week. You've been great. Cut.
Nice.
Dude, hell yeah, man.
That was cool, man.